everyone. It's Wednesday, December the 22nd. It's a special holiday card. Last night, Kim and I went down to Gulfstream Park, which opens up in a couple of weeks, and we had a nice outing seeing all the Christmas lights and everything. As you can tell, we had a good time. And now, here are the selections for Wednesday, December the 22nd. In the first race, I'll pass the race. Second is a maiden claimer going 7 furlongs. My selection is Aim and Fire. In fact, I'll double the investment on Aim and Fire. Aim and Fire takes the most dramatic drop in racing today, going from maiden special weight to maiden claimers. And better yet, trainer David Fox is an outstanding 18% with his second-time starters and 27% when jockey Luis Saez is on board. What makes this an even better deal for me is that the race that Aim and Fire comes out of, his debut, he ran a good fourth against a much the best winner. I think that race will be a key race, so I will take Aim and Fire in the second, double the investment. I'll pass the third. In the fourth, it is a claiming event going 1 mile and 70 on the main track. My selection is Summer Lucky. That'll be a bit of a price, I believe. The morning line favorite is Speedy King, and he is indeed speedy, and he looks to be loose on the lead. However, I think there are some other horses that may give him a little bit of pace pressure, which will set it up for a horse coming from off the pace, which would be Summer Lucky. Summer Lucky will probably be overlooked by most handicappers as he comes off of 2 efforts at Mountaineer Park. Most people tend to think that Mountaineer Park is not that good of a racetrack. If you look a little bit deeper in Summer Lucky's past performances, however, you will find that he was competitive at Churchill Downs earlier this year, and I think that gives him a bit of a hidden class edge. So I'll go Summer Lucky in the fourth. I'll pass the fifth. In the sixth, we got Starter Allowance Company. This one's scheduled to go 8.5 furlongs on the turf. So the first question is, will we be on the turf or not after all the rain on Saturday? If it's on the turf, the rivalry that is brewing yet again is between Marquette Cat, the front runner, and Maddie's Crowd, the finisher. In the last 3 times that these fillies have met, Maddie's Crowd has got the best of Marquette Cat. However, I'm going to go with a reversal in positions today. I say Marquette Cat hangs on. Why? Well, first of all, Marquette Cat has won over the track. 2, I think Marquette Cat is the lone speed today. And 3, she shortens up in distance. I also think that it helps Marquette Cat's case in that Maddie's Crowd is coming off a layoff. Maybe she's not quite ready to run down a loose on the lead Marquette Cat. If this race comes off the turf, then I will go with Lucas Brady. Whichever the pick, Marquette Cat on the turf, Lucas Brady on the main, I will double the investment. The 7th is a claiming non-winners of 3 lifetime, and it's at 7 furlongs. It's probably my best bet of the day. I like Devilish Silver. You can't look at this race with having to have an opinion on Devilish Silver, who is the morning line favorite. On the positive side, Devilish Silver ran back-to-back Beyer speed figures of 76 while running in Kentucky earlier this year. However, if you look at her last 2, a 45 and a 51 speed figure, you think she's going to be way over bet today, and you're going to get a good price on your selection. I personally think you can throw out the last 3 races and come up with her race is going to be one of those 76s. Here's why. In her last race, she broke poorly and was 11th at the start of the race. Devilish Silver likes to be on or near the lead. After breaking so far behind the field, that race is an automatic toss. Go 2 back, you got Optional Allowance Claiming Company. I think that's over her head a bit, and she was going 2 turns mile at Hoosier. I think, again, that's over her head. I think it's the wrong distance. Go 3 back, again we're an Optional Allowance Claiming, and again, we're at a mile. However, in that race, she broke sharply, she was near the pace, and actually made the lead at the head of the stretch before fading to go 3rd. Go 4 back and 5 back, those are those 2 76 races. I think that's the race she runs today at today's 7 furlong. Adding to the angles that make me believe that is the fact that today she's first off the claim for Robert DeBonin. He is an excellent 26% with first off the claim, and he also has good stats for horses coming second off a layoff and coming off a 30 to 60 day break. So for me, it's triple the investment on Devilish Silver in the 7th. In the 8th race, I have an upset selection. It's Evil Queen. Evil Queen probably is not going to be on many handicappers' lists at the top because in her last, it was her maiden breaker and she got out by a mere nose. That's typically the kind of horse you want to play against when moving up to winners, especially an allowance company. However, I think she's got a real chance here today, and here's why. I think her connections have just figured out what kind of a racehorse she is. She started her career with 2 5-furlong sprints. The second race, she was flying at the finish and was second, beaten less than a length and a half. Her third race, they stretched her out to 7 furlongs. She was flying at the finish and missed in a photo. For some reason, still a maiden, they moved her into a 2-turn route race in stakes company. Not once, but twice, both obviously over her head and the wrong distance. Then they kept her at 2 turns on the grass against winners again. Again, bad move. In her last, they dropped her down, put her in a 6 furlong sprint race. She was flying at the finish. She barely got up, I think because 6 furlongs is not quite her best distance. Today's race, 6.5 furlongs. Smacks her right between the eyes between that 7 furlong race in her second race of her career and her last race, her winning race. I also think that there's a lot of pace in the race today. I think that sets it up for a closer. And at 8-1, I will take Evil Queen in the 8th. The 9th race today is on the turf, and I'm hesitant to pick the race because I don't know whether we're going to be on the turf or not. It's a 5 furlong sprint, so that has a lot to do with pace figures. Who knows who's going to be left in here? I'll pass the race. The 10th race is a maiden claimer going 5 furlongs. My first reaction was to pass the race, as I looked over the field I thought, what a bunch of losers. In fact, 8 of the 11 in here have been beaten soundly several times at this bottom maiden claiming level. So I started to look at the first time starters. Well, there were 2 first time starters coming off of bullet work. I like that. But the first time starter with the bullet work, her trainer is a 2 for 42 trainer in 2010. Ouch. The other one, also coming off of bullet work, her trainer is an 0 for 36 trainer for the year. Yikes. The other first-time starter has top jockey Paco Lopez, top trainer Eddie Plesa, with proven losers, and 2 first-time starters with proven losing trainers. I think this sets up really nice for a Seattle club. Shouldn't have to be much to win here today. I'll double the investment, try to get a bit of a price in the finale, Seattle club in the finale. We'll come back tomorrow, see how we did today, look ahead to Thursday's card, then we'll take 2 days off, and we'll come back on Sunday the 26th, have selections for Calder, our last tropical meet that we're going to be betting on against Mike Welsh, and we'll also take a look at opening day at Santa Anita. Happy holidays.